Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Circle of Trust podcast, the digital space where we dive deep into the transformative world of technology and innovation. Hina and I are your hosts, and we are here to guide you through the dynamic landscape of digital dexterity. With our amazing guests, and Elchin, today we are going to have a thorough look into the idea of blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and learn more about the magic of smart contracts.
Welcome, Anne and Elchin. It's really nice to have you here. Thanks for agreeing to join us here today. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your professional journeys and how you got to where you are today, please?
Yes, I can start. So hello everyone. I'm so happy to be here. So a little bit about my journey. My name is Anne Jungers. I'm based in Brussels, Belgium. Before the pandemic, I worked for several years as a piping and mechanical designer in the pharmaceutical, nuclear, and petrochemical industry. When the pandemic came, I decided to undergo a career transition and go into IT, as IT would allow me to combine my scientific and creative skills. As you certainly know, the IT world is very broad, and I was learning and experimenting with AI and web development, and I fell in love with blockchain. Blockchain is actually a technology that resonates with my values, as it has the potential to redistribute wealth among people. That's why I decided to become a specialist in the field and dive deeply into blockchain technology. My current role at Evanes is to do research and development on how we can decentralize the Circle of Trust platform. Otherwise, in my free time, I try to be involved in blockchain initiatives in Belgium. As an example, I'm currently helping to organize the Brussels Blockchain Week that will take place in the first week of June here in Brussels.
Elchin, do you want to have your introduction as well, please?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for inviting. This is exciting. Hello, everyone. I'm Elchin Bayramov. I have been in finance and accounting space over 14 years. Currently, I'm holding a position of director at CFGI, a management consulting firm. But that's not all. I actively advise several Web3 startups, including the Ivnis, helping them to leverage blockchain technology to its fullest potential. Previously, I held the role of CFO at one of the blockchain technology startups, and prior to that, I worked at one of the big four public accounting firms. There, I led the financial statement audits for a variety of public and private financial services companies. And throughout my career, I always have been fascinated with emerging technologies, specifically their integration with finance. And blockchain technology in particular has captured my interest due to its potential to resolve financial challenges that traditional systems often grapple with. Beyond my professional obligations, I am also deeply committed to contribute to widespread of this innovative tech. I'm actively involved in educating about blockchain technologies, thus contributing to its wider acceptance and understanding. And combining my extensive professional expertise with my dedication to blockchain technology, I find myself at the intersection of the finance and technology, which is, that's my passion basically. And being here, I'm excited to share my insights with you. Thank you very much again.
Thanks very much for both your introductions. I just listening to you guys, you have such a depth and a great awareness of blockchain, and also what I also really liked is both of you, sort of have a real passion for the subject, and also that sort of combination of that technology and finance and bringing that together, and Anne commenting on the fact that she fell in love with blockchain. So it's really nice to hear that you have that depth, but also that sort of passion for it as well. We hear these days more and more about blockchain, and Elchin, I was wondering, could you kick things off and give us a little bit of a brief history of blockchain and also why the technology is getting so much attention at this moment in time?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. And I will start with the, while the modern understanding of the blockchain technology, larger comes from the invention of Bitcoin 2018 by, Satoshi, the conceptual foundation of the technology dates back to, early 90s, even before. And to understand the technology, we need to go back and look at the for example, the first paper published on the use of the cryptographically secured blocks by Stuart Haber and Stornetta. They had a paper named the How to Timestamp a Digital Document, and then the invention of the Merkle trees by Ralph Merkle, which is used in the blockchain technologies a lot, and the proof of work consensus mechanisms proposed by Hal Finney, or the paper by the Nick Szabo about the smart contracts, which is this is laying the foundation of the technology. And when coming to fast forward 2008, the introduction of Bitcoin by Nakamoto was the first implementation of blockchain as we understand it today. It's a public decentralized ledger that records the transactions across many computers. And the launch of Bitcoin sparked a major shift in the technology world by demonstrating the blockchain's potential applications beyond just a method to secure time stamping. And of course, there were some time passed until 2014 and 15 that, after what blockchain got really gained the attention, substantial attention, and either financial institutions or tech giants or the other companies startups started exploring the potential use cases beyond the cryptocurrency, beyond just the peer-to-peer payment mechanisms. And everybody understood that invention of this can bring the, a new era, and they revolutionize how we transfer and verify the integrity of the digital data. And after we see after Bitcoin, we see evolution of the blockchain. We saw the smart contracts came by the launch of Ethereum in 2015, and the stable coins followed that, emergence of the DeFi protocols, NFTs, metaverse. It's just it has been a good ride, and new technologies are coming. And now I'm looking forward for the next stage, where I'm expecting these synergies with the artificial intelligence as well.
That's fascinating, Elchin. Such an informative and thorough response. Well, building on that, what's your perspective on how traditional financial systems are adjusting to cryptocurrencies, especially in terms of the regulations in different countries? I believe this is such a controversial topic around the space right now.
Yes, thank you very much. The traditional financial systems, I mean, it has been really difficult for in early stages it was really difficult to adapt, but as the technology evolved, even it was slow, but the adaptation of the blockchain technologies, crypto, has been in an increasing pace. And and I can understand the overall a slow development of this. Probably the concerns came from the volatility, lack of regulation, potential use of the crypto assets in the illegal activities. However, while looking at now, these perspectives are changed as the technology matured, and the organization, especially the financial systems, understands the potential of the blockchain technologies, and they know that it provides a faster, more efficient transactions with reduced costs, and it brings the greater financial inclusion. And I can say as an example, JP Morgan, they have a business unit that Onyx that focusing on the cutting edge technologies. They run the first DeFi transaction on the public blockchain Ethereum to exchange the Japanese yen for the Singapore dollars, which made the settlement time to drop from 2 days to seconds. So, and also they did execute the repurchase agreements and has transferred 25 billion using their network. Another example is the Goldman Sachs using the blockchain technologies for underwriting. So this means that these big players are understanding the value of the blockchain and how it can impact the overall the financial markets. And from the regulatory perspective, which you mentioned, Ned, it's like they are trying to accept, trying to learn, and trying to basically establish frameworks for the blockchain use, cryptocurrency use. And as an example, I can say that you can look at the recent hearings on U.S. Congress, as well as the recent regulation MiCA in the Europe, that is example to building or bringing new guidelines and framework for the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. And while this is like a adaptation is going, we are still in early stage of this transformation. The coexistence and integration of the traditional finance and cryptocurrencies requires deep understanding of both domains, also the regulatory framework. As someone deeply involved in this both areas, I find it really fascinating time to be in this field, and I believe that this synergy finance and cryptocurrency or traditional finance and cryptocurrencies is bringing really significant value to the financial markets.
Sounds like traditional finance is sort of receptive and catching up, well, slowly but surely sort of catching up to what's going on in the world of crypto. And it also sounds like more regulations and more synergy will then be involved in both sides sort of benefiting from each other, and eventually perhaps just one kind of finance system we go forward to. I think one of the things, and I guess it's the same with generative AI and other technologies, it's evolving quite fast, and that sort of keeping up with that technology is going to be the interesting thing for everybody as part of this. Anne, can I ask you to help our listeners sort of understand some of the technology and how blockchain technology might influence the future economy in sort of a sort of simple kind of way?
Yes, sure. So blockchain is a technology that has the potential to create big changes in many areas. It's a system that is decentralized, and so it is not controlled by a single group, which makes it more secure and transparent. As an example, in finance, it could make transactions faster and cheaper. In supply chains, it could help people see where things come from and where things go. In healthcare, it could help keep patient data private and make it easier for doctors to collaborate. There are many possibilities with blockchain. We could talk about it for hours, really. But in my opinion, the most important things to keep in mind to understand how blockchain technology might influence the future of economy is the potential role of blockchain technology in addressing the challenges posed by the proliferation of generative AI. So generative AI can manipulate various forms of media, including documents, voices, and faces. We have already seen the deep fake. And that raises concern about the true authenticity and trustworthiness of digital content. In this context, blockchain technology has the potential to act as a counterbalance to the manipulative capabilities of generative AI. By providing a tamper-proof and transparent infrastructure, it can help verify the authenticity of data, safeguard digital assets, and maintain integrity in an AI-driven world. Especially now with the emergence of the metaverse, which is where the digital and physical worlds merge, the need for trust and integrity becomes even more crucial. And so we will need blockchain technology to establish trust in virtual environments by ensuring the integrity of identity, assets, and other digital identities.
Thanks for the explanation, and for our listeners who are new to the realm and are interested in learning about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, when I put myself in their shoes, well, I feel intimidated. I don't know where should I start, and like I feel somehow it could be too late for making a move right now. So, what is your advice as someone who also made this career shift, who also took that risk of, taking a step forward? And as you said, it is like a kind of learning process that happens so rapidly. So, what is your take on that? What is your advice for our audience? For our listeners who are new to the realm and are interested in learning about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, when I put myself in their shoes, well, I feel intimidated. I don't know where should I start, and like I feel somehow it could be too late for making a move right now. So, what is your advice as someone who also made this career shift, who also took that risk of, taking a step forward? And as you said, it is like a kind of learning process that happens so rapidly. So, what is your take on that? What is your advice for our audience?
Well, I would personally say that learning about blockchain can become very addictive once you start. And it is very difficult to stop as it is a very exciting field. So if you're interested in learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency, there are a wide variety of resources available to you. If you are fully novice, I would advise you to start reading the book Blockchain for Dummies. Maybe it sounds a little bit silly, but I myself started my blockchain journey with the reading of this book. It is a very well written book and it is accessible to everyone, like even your mom or your grandparents. So it's a very good book to start. Another great way to get started is to learn with resources on the internet, like online courses on Udemy or Coursera. There are also webinars and there are also plenty of YouTube tutorials. So there are many options you can explore to deepen your understanding and expertise about blockchain. Then if you want to go further, I would also advise you to be proactive. So if you want to take your knowledge to the next level, what you should do is, as an example, you might maybe consider attending conferences. In this conferencing, you will be able to hear from leading experts and exchange ideas with other blockchain and Web3 enthusiasts. What you can also do is also consider to join online communities or discussion groups on Discord or Telegram. It would allow you to connect with like-minded individuals and share your experiences and insights. My personal tip is actually to really get involved and be engaged in the crypto community. You should try to contribute. You should actually try to contribute to projects because, according to me, it's the best way to learn. At first, it may sound difficult, but the community is very welcoming and kind. And also something to keep in mind is that your success in this community will also come because you are there to contribute and to make this world a better place. And you are not just because you are only there because you want to make money and you want to speculate on coins and digital assets. And finally, what I also would say is because blockchain is a field that is always evolving, and the new developments are happening at a very high pace. It is very important to stay up to date, and therefore you can follow industry leaders and innovators on social media like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good tool to get informed. And actually, if you manage to be involved and take advantage of all these resources and opportunities, I think you'll be well on your way to becoming a knowledgeable and informed participant in this exciting and rapidly evolving field that is blockchain technology.
Thanks, Anne. It sounds like there's lots of sort of different ways that people can get involved. You know, if they want to get really technical, there's lots of Udemy and lots of different tools. And like you said about getting involved with the crypto community itself, which sounds like a sort of welcoming place. And also, I think there's lots of information and content out there for executives, something from a circle of trust perspective. That's that sort of level of communication and education that we're also going to be putting through as part of these podcasts and some of the events we're doing. So lots of different mechanisms and ways to have that information around blockchain. One of the Elchin, one of the things that Anne just mentioned was around conferences and events around cryptocurrencies and Web3 and the metaverse. Events like ETH Denver and Consensus. Can you tell us why are these so important for the crypto and blockchain community?
Yeah, certainly.
And a little bit about the event as well. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I recently participated in those conferences, ETH Denver, Consensus, and I loved it. I mean, it's one of the those conferences are like the most anticipated and significant in the blockchain community, especially in US. And while each time I'm trying to get there, and I see that these conferences as a platform for the participants, to come together, collaborate, learn, share their experience, network. It's so great. For example, the ETH Denver is like one of the Ethereum-based events globally, and it's not just a conference. It's like something that's like a community-driven event, and it's like organized by community. And it also hosts the hackathon that's like developers and the technology enthusiasts come together, collaborate, build applications. It's so nice to see these developers there working together and and coming up with the new ideas. And talking about the Consensus, it's just one of the biggest annual blockchain summit organized by Coindesk, and you can see like lots of stakeholders there, from seasoned industry leaders to crypto newcomers, talking about all about the blockchain. It's so great. And while thinking about why these conferences are like important, right? And I can see it first is it's great platform to facilitate knowledge exchange and provide learning opportunities. And the people there will know about the latest trends, challenges, solutions, learn. And secondly, it's they foster collaboration. All developers, startups, different organizations from different industry background come together to network, and which potentially leads to the further partnerships and joint ventures. And being in this, being as a consultant and advisor in the startup world, I find these opportunities really valuable. Startups come there with the fresh idea, trying, and then these conferences matching these companies together for the future development. So that's great. And the third one and last one is probably this is like a one of the most important factors is these events can influence the policy and regulations. It's not only the startups or tech people coming here, it's also the policymakers, regulators, and researchers coming here, and which can influence their research or policies for the future, and building a really good regulation and framework guidelines for the crypto. So it's really valuable from that perspective. Just to summarize these conferences, it's really essential. It's great, critical in driving innovation, facilitating learning, and shaping the future of the blockchain space.
Sounds like a really cool place to be, with a mix of those developers and stakeholders. And what I liked about your comment was really about the fact that it's a very collaborative community and people helping each other out and working together to push the industry forward. It's already cutting edge, but by having so many like-minded people together in one place, it's quite exciting to kind of sort of see how that evolves, and how that evolves as a conference as well. So it's going to be interesting to hear more about these as we go forward in these things. If we Anne, if we sort of shift our focus a little bit, just because whenever I hear blockchain, there's two other sort of topics that come into kind of conversation. One is blockchain, crypto, and then smart contracts. They're always sort of kind of talked together almost. Anne, would you mind explaining that sort of concept of smart contracts to us?
Yes, sure. I try to explain the concept of smart contract briefly. So smart contracts are a cool feature in the blockchain world. They are a new tool that changes how we do digital transaction. So they are all about transaction. So they allow to make transactions faster, cheaper, and more secure by removing the middleman. A smart contract is a self-executing computer program that runs on a blockchain platform. It is a piece of code that automatically executes predefined actions when certain conditions encoded within the contract are met. So in summary, smart contracts are designed to facilitate, verify, and enforce the negotiation and performance of agreement or contracts between parties without the need of intermediaries. And the most known smart contract platform is the Ethereum blockchain.
That's amazing, Anne. Thank you for your thorough response. And could you also explain how smart contracts can benefit individuals or businesses? I think that people could be curious on this topic.
Okay, so to understand the Ethereum network well, you have to understand that within the Ethereum network, you have some smart contract templates, and these smart contract templates serve as a starting point to create a smart contract. So among these templates, you have two templates that represent NFT. So NFT means non-fungible tokens. It's different than a fungible token. So a fungible token is something like a cryptocurrency, that is something that is exchangeable. So you can exchange one Ether against one other Ether, and it remains the same. But NFTs are the opposite. So they are non-fungible, which means that you cannot exchange an NFT for an NFT. It's not possible because they have these unique characteristics, and they own a distinct value, which means that they are not interchangeable, and they represent some non-interchangeable digital asset that you can store on the blockchain. So NFTs can be used to represent real-world assets. So it can be a diploma, it can be a house, it can be a painting, it can be an energy meter, but it can also be used to represent digital data, like to represent individual identity, property rights, intellectual property, and so on. So NFT, what they are essentially digital certificates of authenticity. They are used to prove ownership of digital data or to label anything in the digital world as your own. So because NFT functions as a digital certificate of authenticity, you can easily verify its legitimacy while also displaying the history of its prior owner. The main utility of NFT lies in their ability to provide a secure, decentralized way of representing ownership and authenticity of digital assets. And in terms of royalties, you can actually track the origin and program-specific requirement into the smart contract. Like for instance, in the case of royalties, you can program in the NFT smart contract that the creator of a piece of art would receive, imagine, 10% every time the piece of art is sold and gets a new owner. And now I've just talked about art, but there are a lot of other use cases. And as the space is evolving quickly and as more and more types of assets are tokenized and put on chain, all these assets become also interconnectable worldwide, and we will see a lot more business cases that don't exist yet in the future with all those NFTs and things that you can tokenize online and put on chain. Yeah.
And as we see that Ethereum is always kind of keeping the lead in terms of the smart contract technology and all the new things that it's introducing, as staying ahead of the curve in terms of this, smart contract tech. So also recently we heard the news of ERC 6551 being released. So can you just explain the impact of these new contracts?
Yes, sure. I'll answer that question with pleasure. So ERC 6551, it is a brand new token standard, and it is a standard to create tokens, token bond accounts. So to explain to you what is a token bond account, you have to look at the future of the NFTs because it is related to the future of NFTs and the broader vision of NFTs in the future. So far, NFT has just been a thing that you hold into your wallet, and it is something quite static. So it is an image, and this image sits here in your wallet. But looking ahead, NFT should be more than that. So NFTs should be able to take actions and do things like owning things, take on-chain actions, check airdrops, and be used as an Ethereum identity, and so on. So because that's the real potential of NFT as a token. So how can you make this happen? Well, as I said, the next evolution of NFT is something you can interact with, not just something you own or can pass around and sell and buy. And that's what ERC 6551 is designed to allow. So ERC 6551 actually give NFTs their own identity by giving every single NFT its own wallet. And not just the new NFT that you build now, but every single NFT that has ever been built on any Ethereum virtual machine compatible chain. So from now, with this ERC 6551, every NFT has a wallet and with a wallet address, like you have your own MetaMask wallet. And right now, every NFT can do actually crazy things like own any kind of assets, connect to any decentralized application. You can trade your favorite coin on Uniswap using your NFT rather than using your wallet. NFTs can have their own transaction history because they have their own wallet, and so on. So as you can see, this new standard opens the door to a real NFT revolution. As of now, we don't know yet all of the future business application that it will create, but it will create a lot of new possibilities for sure.
Thank you for all the great explanation, and I hope that our audience are quite familiar with what we are talking about to this point. And Elchin, well, before I just ask you our next question, so do you have anything to add on so far? And like, yeah, I really want to hear your perspective on what we have been discussing so far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree what like and talked about the NFTs and what NFTs can bring. And one of the things that's like the smart contracts and token-based models can bring is that you can access certain content or products using your tokens, which makes the different which makes the to compete with the subscription models. So what it means is that you have the token-based model versus the subscription model. Subscription model is that usually we do it every day. You have like a typically pay a regular fee, often monthly or annually, to access a product or service like Netflix, right? You pay subscription, and based on that subscription fee, you gain access to entire library of content, either you want it or not. However, with subscription, you have like a financial commitment, regardless of the you watching or not, which is the not always positive. However, with the token-based models, for example, the NFTs, you can do it based on NFTs, offers more flexibility, decentralization, and more secure, as you mentioned, Heena. And it's based on the blockchain technologies. And if you have that tokens ownership, you can access to specific content, products, and services that you want, instead of just paying for everything on a monthly basis. And the other benefits of to have this, token-based models is you have the participants, consumers have a big sense of the ownership, and while you own the token, you have that sense that you get more than that subscription, and you have like you are more engaged. And also in most of these token-based models, they are like you participating in the community, and when you are active, you can be rewarded for the being actively participating, and which fosters more engagement and the dynamic use cases with this. Yeah, this is like, and also this is like more token systems can be more democratic. You contribute to the network, you earn tokens. So this is like a additional what the overall blockchain technology can bring the value to the market.
It's quite interesting. I don't have any tokens myself, but I think I'm quite looking forward listening to you guys. I'm like, oh, I think I need to start buying some tokens and figuring some of this out and just playing with this technology, because what I like about it from your descriptions is it's also that transparency and creating more engagement and reward, and it's very much a little bit more personalized to what I would like to have as a personal perspective. And also it sort of cuts out the middle person somewhere along the line, so there's less fees being distributed across the board, and also that potential for fraudulent behavior is kind of totally minimized. So I think I'm going to figure out how to get a wallet, and I might have to sort of chat to you, Anne and Elchin, to figure out how I do some of these things, but I'm going to have a little bit of a play and
to add there,
sort of
and to add there, Heena, is like overall, while involved in this cryptocurrency sector, I realized that overall for the mainstream, it's really steep learning curve because of this, as you mentioned, like all these buzzwords, and it's really tough for people just to get into this. However, I feel like you can learn additional, like a way of learning is you experience. When you experience it, like even with the small amount of money, just making transactions from one wallet to another wallet, you get you learn more than the reading, or like that's why I advise for everyone that wants to get into crypto and learn about this beautiful technology, you just go there, experience it, and it will just drag you into it, and you will love it. You will love it. And there are lots of, and in addition, there are lots of mentors out there that without paying any money, just if you ask questions, they can teach you, they can educate you. I take from myself, and I'm sure Anne is the same way. There are lots of and I know that whoever in the crypto, they like talk about crypto, they like educate, they like to contribute to mainstream to get the this crypto wide spread. And it's like because I'm passionate about talk about it.
I can hear that. No, I love it because it is partly about experiencing some of these things. And that's why listening to you guys, I'm like, oh, actually, the way to do it is to sort of play around. And I think the initial, I mean, I'm not going to be spending lots and lots of money in this. It's just like a little token, excuse the pun, a token play of some of this technology, just to sort of get my head around it. So I'd love to do that. So Elchin, lastly, can I just ask you a little sort of question as we sort of start to wrap up? Sort of shifting gears ever so slightly, but can you discuss some of the benefits and challenges that sort of arise when it comes to AI and blockchain, and how they might be, especially when we're trying to combine both technologies?
Yeah, that's a hot topic. Everybody talks about the AI currently, and the and while I'm looking, while talking about the AI and blockchain, I'm trying to look at it more, how they can make synergy than the comparing one to another, because it's like I think they're more complementary than they separate. So that's why I feel like both combining the AI and blockchain can bring great value, great efficiency. And while looking at the benefits, I can say like enhanced security, because if you add the AI to the blockchain technology, AI can identify the fraudulent patterns, predicting and mitigating the security concerns, and from looking from the other side, the blockchain also, the immutable nature of blockchain can help the create more trustworthy AI system, and plus they bring some integrity and transparency of the data and algorithms. So it's like a mutually beneficial from the security perspective. Other thing that AI can bring to blockchain is the increased efficiency. So basically AI can help to optimize this consensus protocols in the blockchain, and they give feedback and optimize, and which can lead to faster transaction times, of course. And also the other benefit that I can think of is the data management. Blockchain can enhance the AI's capabilities by providing its secure and transparent method for the managing the data AI needs, and blockchain can ensure that this large amount of data needed to train AI models are reliable and nobody tampered with. Of course, with these benefits, here comes also challenges that we need to consider. Of course, both technology are complex, and when you add the synergy to it, it gets to another layer of the complexity. And can be a little bit, difficult for the companies to adapt, implement this technology. Also, basically data privacy issues can arise. Basically, when you look at the AI, needs to access the data and learn to train, like improve, which is with the blockchain, the data should be private, so it can a little bit need to be researched to make sure that the data privacy factor is considered when this synergies come together. And also there is like a scalability can be challenged, especially with the blockchain networks, can be slow and consume a lot of resources, and it may not be, at least for now, may not be suitable for the AI's computational needs. But I believe these challenges is basically can be worked on and and basically addressed to get the fully leverage the benefits of this synergy. I'm really excited to be part of this journey. It's like I know that, and these technologies are like basically evolving really quickly, and we may see these projects coming in, I don't know, in 6 months or 1 year, that it will be fascinating to see this.
Thanks for your insightful answer, Elchin. And Elchin, it was my pleasure having you both on our podcast. We've learned so much today about blockchain, crypto, and smart contracts. For our audience to know, this was just the beginning. We just touched on the surface of blockchain, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, NFTs, and this whole new wave of technology. So stick around, stay with us. We are going to have so many amazing sessions in the future. We will have Anne and Elchin back with new stuff, the new news. So just stay tuned and stay with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm loving the energy you guys all bring to this, because it's very contagious, and I'm excited to learn more about a lot of the technology, the blockchain, and get a little bit more involved in some of these things. It's definitely a sophisticated topic, for sure, and I'm sort of really looking forward to sort of drilling into some of these topics. And I think, Ned, I think we could sort of, as we go through our podcast, we could sort of pick some of these topics and delve into them a little bit deeper as well as we go through. So thank you, Anne. Thank you, Elchin. It was a really enlightening conversation. I really enjoyed it. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the session. If there's topics that you want us to go through, or you think we should have a certain guest on the podcast, or you'd like to come on yourselves, please let us know. Send us a little message, and Ned and I will get back to you on that. So we'd love to have more people involved in part of these podcasts, and allow you guys to also set the pace and some of the topics as we go through. Thank you very much.
Thank you.